Hey, hi, it's me, your Void, and the setup is weird. It is time for the final book support group again, and I am technically already in the middle of it, if we can call it that. I have joined the sprints with Steph, and I have reminded myself of what kind of books fit onto the bingo board. I am not making an extra TBR this time around because it is also Aurelium, and Aurelium wants me to read every book under the sun. So I specifically designed my Aurelium TBR to fit a lot of series continuations, knowing the final book support group is coming up. So I have a couple of shorter reads that are also continuations of series picked out that I specifically planned to read in this week. Let's hope I can get to them because my reading is kind of slow this month. But again, these are small reads. I think the longest book is like 204 pages long or something. So I should be able to get through a couple of these at least. There's one manga on here, so I aim to finish at least 2 things this week. I have the whole week. And I also have absolutely nothing to do this week other than walk the dog. There is also Champions going on in the background, Valorant Champions. If you know me, then you know that I am hype for the official Valorant competitions, and it's Champions, so it's the biggest event of the year, so yeah. The good thing is, if the game is boring, I usually, for some reason, use the time of the game to read, which is really good for like my focus stuff, because I have shit on in the background, but also nothing that needs my attention. And a single map is usually about 45 minutes, so it's like the perfect length for a sprint. So you might see some neon shit explode in the background because I also am home alone, which means I have full access to that monstrosity. That TV is as wide as I am tall. This is my stepfather's baby. This thing is loved more than me in this household. And it has such a crisp picture. I already watched a couple of Valorant games on it, and oh my god, shit's looking good. Anyway, I have 5 books to go. Let's get cracking, I guess. Should probably pick up my Kindle, because they are all on there, except the manga. Where is it? Where did I put it? Yes. Kindle acquired. Time to go read. I apologize for any background noise. My neighbors decided to mow their lawn. All of my neighbors simultaneously. It's very loud outside. I really hope it's not too distracting. But I had to come back in. It's only a couple of hours later than when I started this vlog. Like, it's not that late. It's just a tiny bit. Steph's sprints have just concluded, and I already finished something. I read their Vicious Darling by Nikki and Crowe during sprints because I asked the final book support group Discord for like a poll, because poll pick is a thing. I gave them like two of my 5 choices, and they said read Vicious Darling, so I read Vicious Darling, and now it's 250 pages later and I finished Vicious Darling. Kind of baffled by that. Even more baffled by the fact that I still want to read. By the way, if I'm looking over here, interesting things are happening. It's the Champions game is on. So, but yeah, I already finished the book only a couple of hours into the readathon. And here I thought I would struggle throughout the whole week to finish anything. But, okay. I take it. I take it. So, Vicious Darling, what is that about? It is the 3rd installment in the Vicious Lost Boys series by Nikki and Crowe, which is a dark fantasy retelling of the Peter Pan thingamething thing. It's not really the story of the original Peter Pan anymore. Yes, Wendy Darling has been, well, in this case, Winnie Darling, not Wendy, but a Darling has been kidnapped by Peter Pan to Neverland. And shit went haywire. I don't want to spoil too much, but this is a reverse harem, so Winnie has 4 boyfriends now, but in this one, we don't concentrate on the romance aspect of it, so much so as we concentrate on actual, like, plot, because something happened at the end of the second installment of this series that has now, and that has consequences, and now we're seeing these consequences, and a bunch of, like, players are moving over a chessboard, and they all have their own goal, and blah blah blah. And I have to say, I liked this volume more than I liked volume 2. I say it's volumes because these books very much read as parts of a bigger book. They are literally back to back in terms of storytelling, so it's more like you read volumes of a bigger thing. But yeah, I like this one a lot more than the second book, volume, whatever, because in the second one we just had Winnie mindlessly going after one of the 4 boys who, like, was not yet her boyfriend, I guess. In this third book, we now actually focus on all of the characters and what is going on, and, like, the whole political scheming. We get a bit more world building as well, and it's less about bonking of it all, which, by the way, like, this series is kind of boring when it comes to the smut parts. It's just boring. So I was glad that there were only like 2.5 scenes of it in this one, because that meant there was less boring stuff. We were also introduced to the crocodile, and that was, at first, like, his first chapter, I was like, oh my god, this guy is so pretentious, please take him away. And I was questioning a lot of people's sanity, because the crocodile is apparently one of the most beloved characters of the series, so much so that he has his own, like, prequel/sequel series now going on. And I saw a lot of people on Instagram when Nikki and Crowe announced that. A lot of people lost their shit. And I was like, but he's an asshole, and not in the sexy kind of way. But I have to amend that statement, because yeah, I can see it. I can see why people like him. I'm not sold on his relationship with Hook, though. Not quite sold on that. But I do like what they did with the clock, because Hook is not the only one obsessed with the ticking of a clock. The crocodile is obsessed with the ticking of a clock too, for a reason. And I thought that was a cool interpretation of the whole thing. Overall, I gave this one 3.5 as well. But I have, if you look at my list, the Fae Princess on my list as well. And the Fae Princess is the next, and I think the final installment in the Vicious Lost Boy saga. And then you have, like, the prequel/sequels of the brothers, and then Hook and stuff. I don't know. I did not dive too much into the lore of the Nikki said Crowe Peter Pan universe. So yeah. But yeah, I'm baffled. I finished the book already, and I feel like I want to keep reading today. This might also just be me procrastinating on doing my laundry again. I dearly hope that my neighbors are not going to be in their garden now, because they will see me run around in the kitchen like a headless chicken talking to the corner, aka the fridge. You're standing in front of the fridge. Live with it. I'm hungry, I need to make dinner, and I kind of need to clean the kitchen, because I don't know. But I finished another book for the final book support group, which makes this 2 for 2 now. It's day 2, it's Tuesday, and I just finished my second read, which was Sidetracked by St. Abby. Stabby. Wait, we're in the kitchen. Stabby. And Sidetracked is the second book in the Mindfuck series. And in this one, we still follow Lana, the serial killer, and Logan, the BAU profiler who is hunting the serial killer who turns out to be Lana. He doesn't know that she is the serial killer. She knows he is on her case. But in this second one, she actually doesn't kill someone who's on her list. She kills someone who wasn't on her list, but was a ginormous piece of shit. He deserved it. Trust me, he deserved it. But in having this impulsive kill unplanned, she left a bit of evidence that now gave Logan something to work with, something he did not have before. So now Logan is starting to make connections in the case, and Lana needs to be a bit more careful because of that. I liked this one a lot, because the initial romance that you have in the first book is kind of they kind of speedrun their romance. Like they meet in a coffee shop and then they're like immediately fascinated with one another and they start dating and they start doing the thing. And in this second one now, it is more focused on the case. And if you remember my review of the first book, I wanted more of the casework. As a Criminal Minds fan, I wanted to see more of what Logan actually does. And in this one, we get more of what Logan does. And I have to say, I like it. I like it. It's still a quick read. It's only like 115 pages or something, so it's moving quickly, but so good. A bunch of teenagers just rolled by on their e-scooters. But yeah, I like that one. I gave it 4 stars. And that one fit a bunch of prompts, just like Vicious Darling. And I think I want to keep this 1 book a day thing up for the rest of the week. And I can, like looking at my list, which I don't have handy dandy, I would show you if I had. Nothing on my list is super long. I looked up, like the longest book is not 204 pages, like I suspected. It's The Fey Princess is actually almost 250 pages, but I think I can still do it in a day. It's not that long. I just need to sit down and do it, you know? So I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. Sit down, log in, read Fey Princess and close out a series. And then I have a Cleo Evans left, and I know I can do these in a day. I always do these in a day. And I have a manga left, Spy Family, which it's a manga. I do that in under 2 hours. But that also means I have 2 more days to fill if I do 1 a day. Because I did the math with like, okay, Vicious Darling is going to take 2 days. Fey Princess is going to take 2 days, which then with the other 3 would have brought me up to 7. Look at me doing math. But it doesn't anymore if I do 1 a day, so I have to find something else. I could finish Sunbringer, or at least try to finish Sunbringer over the weekend, because that is a continuation, and it is on my Aurelium TBR. So I might be doing that. I don't know. You will see by the end of this vlog. But for now, I'm 2 for 2, and now I'm going to make dinner. I am sitting here on the floor, working on a little DIY, watching my team be horrible on the map they are supposed to be good on. And I remembered I never updated you on the book I finished yesterday. I finished it relatively late last night, so I was already tucked in bed and I couldn't be asked to talk to a camera, so now you get a late afternoon update of that. But I am 3 for 3 because I read Little Taste of Need yesterday by Cleo Evans, and I have to say that is the weakest entry in the Creature Cafe series yet. I gave that a 2.5 star because it was so incredibly boring. Both main characters, Nadia the Naga princess and Ella, the best friend of Melody, are so extremely flat. Everything I just said, that is all the characterization you get. Like, all I know about Naomi is that she's a princess of the Nagas, and all I know about Melody is that she has a cat, 2 fish, and is the best friend of Melody, the main character from the book before. That is all I know about these characters, and yes, the Creature Cafe is insta-lovey and everything, but this one was like so instantaneously that it was downright unbelievable. Like, I have no issue with instant love if it's done right, but this one was like, no. Everything about this just felt disconnected. Like, it could have used another page here and there just to flesh things out to a level where they actually made sense, because nothing in it was really fitting together. I don't know, it was just weird. And then on top of that, the whole hypnosis thing made the smut boring. I have never read boring smut by Cleo Evans, but Little Taste of Need has it, because wow. The hypnosis effect just takes everything away from smut that you would like. You know, everything that goes into a good smut scene is taken away by the whole hypnosis thing, because it makes sure that everything Naomi does to Ella feels good for Ella. So there is no point to doing anything. And because we were lacking depth in absolutely everything, we also don't have any depth in that scene, like the way Ella perceives it, and we don't get a perspective of what Naomi does. So we're just kind of left hanging there, and we are being told that it is great. Yeah. I was bored out of my mind. The best parts about this novella were the parts when Melody and the twins showed up, when Al and Luna showed up, when the barista showed up. So basically, whenever a character from another book showed up, everything was great. But the second we focused on the main characters for this one, things got boring. So 2.5 stars. I'm glad that I didn't have to spend so much time on it because it was so boring. And now I'm moving on. I already started The Fae Princess by Nikki and Crowe, which is the last entry in the Vicious Lost Boys series, of which I read the third book earlier in this vlog. I plan on finishing it today, but for now I need to witness my team hopefully winning. Guys, get your shit together. It's not that hard. You've done it before. So, yeah. Also, if you want to see my weird DIY thing, this was a t-shirt I got in Rome once upon a time because I love Leonardo da Vinci, if you didn't know, not DiCaprio, da Vinci. And this t-shirt, you can see it a bit down here. It was printed a bit crooked, so it looked weird when I had it on. So I decided I might as well get a canvas, and I stapled it to the back. And now I have a little fabric art print. So life hack, if you ever have a t-shirt that doesn't fit you anymore, or you are scared that the print is washing off, just get yourself a canvas and just staple it to the back. You don't even need like a heavy duty stapler. Like I literally only have this old office stapler with normal ass staples. You just need to manhandle the thing a bit. Like you can open these up and you put it on the back of the canvas, and then you have to literally like punch it in so that it sticks, but then it sticks. Do I know where to put this? No, I don't have room for something this big on my walls, but I will make it fit because it's pretty and I like it, and it's the thing I got in Rome, you know? When in Rome. I actually think I got this in the Vatican. Did I get this in the Vatican? I think I got this from a shop in the close by, like near the Vatican. Hilarious. If you know, you know. Me again. About 2 hours later, I finished The Fae Princess by Nikki and Crowe, and with that, I finished the whole series of The Vicious Lost Boys. I am so sorry for all the flashing lights. I'm still watching my boys now winning on map 3 instead of losing map 1. Yeah, that last one was a doozy. There was a lot going on, and I'm not gonna lie, I lost the plot a couple of times because things were just happening. I'm glad everyone got their happy ending. The one for Peter was actually kind of cute, but this one was kind of confusing. I think it's better if you read all 4 of them back to back and not like read 1, then wait for years to read 2, a couple of months for 3, and then 3 days for 4. You kind of have to read them all in one go, I think, which you can do. Like, I think in total they come up to not even 600 pages or something. I don't know. They're very quick reads. I'm glad everyone got their happy end. I'm glad how it turned out. It's a very round ending, but it was a bit all over the place for the final one. And again, there are scenes that are just emotionally charged, and they are broken up. Like the second you think they go into some deep emotional conversations or something, they just fuck. They just start fucking. That's the issue I had with the first and the second one. That they just don't talk, but instead start shagging to dissolve. Like, and I mean, if it works for them, it just doesn't make sense in terms of when you read the text. Like they have this emotional scene, and then they just shag, and then the emotional scene is revolved for some reason. It's just weird. So yeah, I give this one 3 stars as well. I haven't put it through Callpile yet, but I'm pretty sure this goes up to 3 stars. And I think the whole series averages out at 3 stars or something. I don't quite know, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm going to continue watch the game and probably put on some dinner or something. What time is it? Yeah, it's time for dinner. I should probably eat before I forget again. And I'm hoping that my boys are going to win. And with that, I'm also 4-4. So I have Spy Family Volume 5 left on my TBR that I set aside for this week, and then I have to figure out what I'm gonna read if I stay 1 for each day. Yay! Hi, I'm having floor time because my back hurts. This idiot decided it's time to tackle every single weed we have on our terrace and also on the walkway in front of the house, because in Germany you are responsible for keeping sidewalk in front of your house clean. So I just randomly decided, for no fucking reason, like there was no reason for me to do it, I just decided that today is the day I'm gonna do it. So I just spent 2 hours hunched over like a shrimp, pulling weeds out of the ground. It looks very good, and especially the front of the house was very much needed, but now my back hurts, so now I'm having poor time. But that's not the part you're here for. I finished another read, and it wasn't on my TBR, neither on my Aurelium TBR nor on my Final Book Support Group TBR, which is also on my Aurelium TBR. But technically this read fit on my Aurelium TBR, because I did a thinky think and looked at the prompts that I still need to fulfill and found a not 600 page long book for the prompt of having water on the cover. Because I read Found by the Lake Monster by Lillian Lark. Also, again, sorry for the flashing. We're watching Valorant again. But it's a Sentinels game, so I can ignore it. I read Found by the Lake Monster by Lillian Lark, which is like 116-ish pages long. And it's a novella in the bathhouse romance universe. It's an interconnected universe. And I have read 3 of the full-length novel installments, and I have all of the novellas. I'm only missing the newest one, which is Married to the Devil. That's the only one I'm missing right now. But I have all of the novellas, so I was like, why haven't I read the Lillian Lark novellas yet? Like, I'm a huge fan of Lillian Lark, so I was like, but how? And wouldn't you look, there is a lake in the background, and therefore there's water on the cover, so therefore this technically counts for my Aurelium TBR, so if I don't get sort of Kaigen read before the end of the month, I actually can just slide that in. But this is also technically part of a series, given that it is in the bathhouse romance universe of Lillian Lark, so it also counts for Final Book Support Group. Anyway! The whole thing is actually really cute. It proved to me that just because something is short doesn't mean it cannot have substance, because you have watched the vlog up until now, hopefully, so you will know that I read the Vicious Lost Boys series, and I just finished The Fae Princess, and it was kind of a disjointed mess within 220 something pages, and I read Little Taste of Need by Cleo Evans before that, and it was just fucking boring. This one is 116 pages long, so it is actually the length of Little Taste of Need. Like a bit longer than Little Taste of Need, and like half the size of The Fae Princess, and it did so much more, and it did so much better at it, because I actually know who these characters are. Like, we follow, what was her name? Look at me, I know who these characters are. What the fuck is their name? No, really, what was her name? I forgot. I remember his name is Adrian, and I remember the neighbor's name is Seamus, and I know the little guy is named Toby, but what the fuck was her name? Oh my god. I even know the name of her stupid boss. His name is Rob. Why do I not remember her name? Okay, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I know who she is, I just don't know her name. And I know who Adrian is. Like, and I know who these people are beyond the fact that they are both accountants. I know who they are beyond the fact that she is into monster romances and has a very interesting collection on her shelves. And I know more than, and I know that Adrian is not just a lake monster, but that he loves family, his family. He loves his neighbors. He loves the way he lives. Like, I know all about these things. Okay? And I learned all about these things in a 116-page novella that is 90% bonking, because the story is that Adrian is in heat, and it might be the last heat he ever experiences, so he is kind of desperate to find someone he can mate. So he turns to our bathhouse romance coupling mastery witch, and she's found him a date. She said, hey, it might not be perfect, so but like it's the most perfect match I could do on a short notice. So he's preparing for a date, and then she stumbles through the forest because Rob took her out on a trip with a bunch of other guys where they try to find that lake monster for like a podcast or something. And she gets lost in the forest, and she stumbles, and Adrian finds her, and Adrian thinks, hey, this is my date. Nice. And then they have a date, and then it turns out, no, she's not your date, but like the connection between the two was instantaneously. Like they instantaneously felt drawn to each other, and we go from there. What do you expect from a lake monster in heat? And it was so sweet, and there was so much emotion in it, and the connection, like, we have this whole story about her lying to him because she feels this initial attraction and she just wants to have fun, and then she realizes, oh shit, he actually, like, he actually kind of needs this date for, like, his health and shit. And then he finds out, and he's like totally betrayed because, of course, but they're also kind of on a time crunch, and then they figure out, and then Seamus comes in and is like, and both of them like, and then, like, the connection between them, even though it was instant, was so much deeper and so much better explored than whatever it was that happened in Little Taste of Mead. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is Lillian Lark wrote a very good novella about a lake monster and a lady falling in love. I gave that 4 stars. Okay, I wanted to film a vlog update, but I don't know if you can hear this. A celestial dam broke, so now we have a little flooding situation going on. Holy shit! That's a lot of water! So I guess I will wait until this is over, or at least a bit quieter, because it's really loud. Like, back here it's fine, because it's just hitting our grass area, but, like, front of the house is horrible. It is very loud. Like, can you hear this? Yep. Gonna see you later. Okay, so the weather has calmed down, so I can actually talk to you and you can hear me. So what I wanted to say is that I finished Spy Family Volume 5 today. Today is Sunday. I didn't update you yesterday on Saturday because I was just dead. I had a D&D session with my cousins in the morning, and it was a shit show, quite literally. I know at least one of my cousins is watching this. You know what you did. So I only read half of Spy Family yesterday, and then I just crashed and I huddled up in bed with a bunch of episodes of Da Vinci's Demons because I'm still rewatching that. Well, technically I'm rewatching it again. I'm obsessed with that show at the moment. So I watched a bunch of Da Vinci's Demons instead of reading, but I read like half of this yesterday, so the other half I just read earlier today, and then it started pissing, so yeah. I finished Spy Family Volume 5, which was on my Aurelium TBR and on my Final Book Support Group TBR because it is a continuation. It is the 5th volume in the Spy Family series. And yeah, the first part was funny. Then we had like 2 chapters in the school, and I'm not the biggest fan of the chapters that are only set in the school. As funny and cute as Anya is, dealing with only the children is just dumb. There's just nothing happening there. And one of the stories in the school was also just kind of random filler, like it didn't go anywhere and it didn't come from anywhere, so that was kind of weird. Then we have the chapter in the hospital. That was kind of cute. And then we have this new character. Her name is Fiona Frost, and the way Yuri is obsessed with his sister Yor, Fiona is obsessed with her co-worker slash mentor Lloyd, and she desperately wants to be his fake wife because she is in love with him. It was only in the last chapter, so she was only just introduced, but I just know that having her around is going to be so funny. Like, I don't like Yuri and the way he is obsessed with Yor, because that is like just it's this weird thing that a lot of mangas do with sibling dynamics when you have a brother and a sister, that the brother is usually so obsessed with the sister that it is like borderline disgusting, if you know what I mean. So I'm not a fan of Yuri as a character anyways, but him and the way he's obsessed with Yor, I don't like that. But given that Fiona and Lloyd are not related to each other, that there is a potential here that this is going to be so fucking funny. That is going to be so fucking funny. I'm excited to see where this goes, and Lloyd and Fiona have a mission together in the next one, so probably gonna laugh a bit. But yeah, I liked it. Don't care too much for the school story, so this was a solid middle field with like a 3.5 plus minus. I haven't put it through call pile yet, but yeah, solid read. And this one is also the final read for the final book support group, because I'm done with reading continuations. I also don't have any continuations on my Aurelium TBR. I guess there's still the second half of Sunbringer, but I'm not feeling Sunbringer right now, so I'm gonna leave it here. This is going to be it. This is the vlog. This has been the final book support group. And yeah, how many things there? I read 6 different things in 5 days. I probably could have made it 7 out of 7, but I was just so dead yesterday. But yeah, I read 6 things in 7 days. I'm pretty sure I hit a lot of the different prompts. If I can remember to put the updated graphic up here, it will be here. Otherwise, you're just perceiving my notes on a writing project that I have not yet finished. But yeah, this is it. If you made it this far into the video, let me know if you participate in the final book support group, and if so, what have you read, what have you continued, or even finished out. I finished out a whole series! Very proud of that. And if you made it this far into the video and don't want to talk to me, then leave a arrow forward emoji down in the comments below. I guess. Okay, cool. I guess I see you in the next video. Bye.